All right, welcome back. Here we are for what are we looking at? Leg number 7. We're going to go from RJSI runway number 2 to RJSH runway number 17, approximately 75 nautical miles. The actual flight plan says 72, so a little shorter there. Estimated time is 59 minutes. And we're going to get this thing posted for tomorrow. Today is actually 10:13, 9:50 a.m. Eastern time. So we're going to try to get ahead here so that we can get these things posted for you. So appreciate you tuning in. We got to change our plane here. We're in the Cessna 208B. We're going to change that to the 172 for this trip. And we're going to get this thing on the ground. I think we are going into parking spot number 28. So looking here, here's the flight plan. Parking spot 28. We're going to be taking off on runway number 2. Hopefully, we'll see what ATC says. A lot of times they flip it on us and we might have to go out on 20. But, yeah, so our entire flight plan here, we're going to be going up here. And, landing on up here by the west coast. So that actually could have been a nice thing. Maybe we'll switch it up while we're in the air and land on 25 so that we can go ahead and fly in on the water. That would look neat. So we'll go ahead and try to plan for that. Maybe we'll see how long the flight is first. But we'll go ahead and get this thing started, fired up as soon as it finishes loading. So, you know what? Let's get a nice sunrise going. Go ahead and finish putting on our stuff here. I guess we don't need the taxi lights. We're already on the runway. We do need the pitot heat. And then our flaps are up. We're going to throw the throttle down. And we're going to get this thing up in the air here. Alright, so they actually did put us on the right runway. So we are on a direct path for our flight plan. All right, nice centered there. 88. We're going to lift off. And then we're going to adjust our elevation here just to get it started. All right, our flight plan is scheduled for 3,000 feet, but we got a little bit of a stretch. We got about 14 miles of 300 and something elevation, so I think we can sit there for that. We're going to reduce our throttle, get our RPMs in check there. And then the first little mountain is about 1,000 feet. So when we get to 1,600, we should be good. We'll keep this thing low to the ground so that we can enjoy the detail of the ground. I keep forgetting. Alright, we are going to... You know what I should do? I should change my password. Because there's a Y in the password, and the Y is what is throwing this thing off. That's what puts it into that mode. So then I gotta hit out of it, and everything gets a little wacky. So I think if I change my password, that'll correct that. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. We got a few things coming up on BushTalk. So we'll let them play out as we hit the radius. If it doesn't, I'll keep an eye out on it and play it. So we got a nice look here. East is that direction. So we'll get a nice view of the sunrise coming up. And let's go ahead and check our flight plan here that has a map that's connected to Google. Let's go ahead and check that exterior view out. We got a highway that is well lit, zigzagging up into the horizon. Another road that's cutting across. I do like the lighting system on the game. We got nice clear skies. Maybe we can find a golf course. It is pretty though. You got the water in the road basically zigzagging up and around. Screen's very jumpy on this one. Go out there. I think that'll be our thumbnail. It's at the 8.5 minute mark. So we got 27 minutes to our what is it? Taking a look at this. Yeah, that's our approach. So we don't have a waypoint in there. It's only 5 miles. It's not too bad. So appreciate you tuning in. So we are on leg number 7. If you haven't checked out 1 through 6, they're out there for your enjoyment. And after this one, we only have 3 more to go. So we'll probably take a short break to plan the next trip. And but in the meantime, we have live updates for our NeoFly career that I'm gonna try to do every once in a while there. So far I've been doing at least 1 a day. The plan wasn't to do that many, but it's not too bad. We're cruising along. So let's see what we got. Oh, I think I know why it's jumpy. It is because I still have NeoFly up. So what I'm gonna do is get my pilot up in the air. We're looking at Snoopy is one of our pilots there. So this is going to be a little cross breeze with Neofly and our bush trips here. But we're going to schedule the airport there. We're going to go back to the hangar. Check the fuel. We got to refuel the plane. $632. And ooh, we got to fix the hull a little bit. We were down to 49%, so we'll drop $10,345 on repairing the hull and get Snoopy in the air. There you go. Let's check everybody else's plane. I haven't checked them in a while. Hurricane's plane is good, and Berlin's plane is okay. And the plane that we own, the 172, that, we gotta raise elevation here. I'm glad for notifications. Let's go full throttle, drop down our speed, vertical speed limit, and let's get this thing rising up above those mountains. All right. We should be good there. Our flight plan is actually 3,000, which, all right, so we were set. We jumped it a little high. There you go. I just really didn't want to crash into something because I'm still logged into Neofly. If I crashed, they would think that I crashed my plane. And then I would have to buy a new one. All right, so, but we're trying to get Neofly closed down so that our frame here isn't as bad. So I think we have accomplished that. I'm just looking at something real quick. Hurricane's going to be landing in a while. Berlin's landing in a while. Snoop we just took off. And Casper he's got a while. So yeah, we can shut that down for a minute. Yes, we do want to exit Neofly. So there you go. Let's see if the frame rate gets a little bit better after that shuts down. Alright, so let's check BushTalk because it hasn't gone off, and it has not. So right around us that we just passed, there was a castle. It's a Japanese castle constructed in 1611. Go ahead and play that one.
Morioka Castle is a Hirayama-style Japanese castle constructed in 1611. It was the seat of the Nonbu clan, a Tazama daimyo clan who ruled over Morioka Domain, Mutsu Province in the Tohoku region of northern Japan during the Edo period Tokugawa shogunate. The castle is located in what is now the center of the city of Morioka, Iwate Prefecture, Japan. It was also referred to as Kozukata Castle, but strictly speaking, this name pertains to the predecessor of Morioka Castle on the same site. Morioka Castle occupies a long and narrow elliptically shaped hill approximately 300 meters long by 100 meters wide. The southeastern side faces the Nakatsu River, and formerly the main course of the Kitakami River protected the western side. As white granite was readily available in the vicinity, most of the ramparts were faced in stone, which was unusual for castles in the Tohoku region at the time. Both the Toyotomi and Tokugawa governments encouraged the Nonbu to build a strong fortification, partly as a counter to the strength of the Date clan to the south. The inner bailey is a square area approximately 60 meters on a side, with a large gate on its eastern end. In the southern corner was a 3-story yagura, which served as the tenchu after the main tower was lost in a fire in 1634. The remainder of the area was occupied by the palace and administrative structures of the Nonbu clan. A secondary enclosure is positioned at the northern part of the inner citadel, and a red-painted bridge spans a moat that divides the two enclosures. There is a tertiary enclosure positioned at the northern end, a Koshi no Kowa, a Awaji-maru, and a Sakakiyama Kowa enclose the inner citadel. Each area is protected by a huge Masugata-style composite gate. All of the structures of the castle were dismantled during the early Meiji period, with the exception of a storehouse with thick mortar walls, reconstructed in the interior part of the castle, and a gate which is now. Morioka Castle is a Hirai.
I was trying to hit the space bar. Alright, so yeah, that's like pretty long, so we'll move on to the next one. We got the Bank of Something red brick building. So to show you what I'm looking at here, the other one that we played was this one. There's a photo of that. Get a little bigger view there. So that's the castle, built in 1961 or 1611. I'm sorry. Come from the United States. Stuff isn't that old. And then this next one over at the town that we just passed, that's our arrow over there. Alright, let's zoom out. There we go. This is the bank or whatever red brick building. So we'll mark that as complete and play.
Bank of Iwate Red Brick Building is a former bank building located in the city of Morioka, Iwate Prefecture, Japan. The building is an example of Meiji period Western-style architecture in Japan and is listed as an important cultural property. The building is now used as a museum. Overview. The building was initially constructed as the head office of the Morioka Bank and is located at the foot of Nakanabashi Bridge, which crosses the Nakatsu River in Morioka. Work began in May 1908 and was completed in April 1911. The Morioka Bank went out of business in 1933, and the building was acquired by the Iwate Shokusen Bank in 1936 and became its head office. The bank's name was changed to the Bank of Iwate in 1960. It continued to be used as the bank's head office until a modern building was completed in 1983. It continued to be used as a brand office of the bank even after the building's designation as an important cultural property until 2012. The interior of the building was repaired and restored to its Meiji period appearance, and the building was opened to the public in 2016. The main architect of the building was Tatsuno Kingo, who also designed the head office of the Bank of Japan in Tokyo. This is the only one of his works in the Tohoku region of Japan. Tatsuno was assisted by Morioka native Kasai Manji. The unique characteristics of the building is that it has an octagonal domed tower in the southeast corner, a squared tower in the southwest corner, and Japanese-style Iramoya Zukuri gable roofs protruding from the sides. The outer wall is made of red brick and with stripes of white granite. Inside, there is a corridor on the second floor surrounding the colonnade on the first floor. About 910,000 bricks from Iwate Prefecture are used for building materials, and Amori Hiba cypress wood is used for the interior. Although the building is distinguished by its use of red bricks, it was painted white from 1936 until 1958 and was called the White Meijikan.
Alright, all this is actually in Japanese, but this is the town that we're flying in. The airport is right here, and there's one more. I won't be able to play this while we're playing, so I'll play it ahead of time. So here's the town that we're flying into. It looks like a little farm town, although I'm going to guess that this is actually pretty populated. But we'll go ahead and play this one.
Is a Muromachi period motte and Bailey-style Japanese castle located in what is now the city of Hachinohe, Amori Prefecture, in the Tohoku region of far northern Japan. It has been protected by the central government as a National Historic Site since 1941. It was extensively reconstructed in 1994. Lee Castle consists of 5 motte and bailey enclosures on a roughly L-shaped river terrace on the south bank of the Mabechi River, approximately 500 meters long by 300 meters wide. As was typical for the time, the fortifications consisted primarily of wooden palisades and earthen ramparts, guarded by 20-meter wide dry moats. The area was divided into several enclosures, or baileys, with varying elevations. There was no donjon in the central bailey, which was occupied large building, possibly in the Shoin style, based on evidence of foundation posts, as the residence of the ruling Nombu clan. Other enclosures held the residences of important retainers, along with barracks, workshops and storerooms. Some of the buildings were constructed as pit dwellings, indicating the survival of this ancient building style into the Muromachi period. One of the enclosures contained a Buddhist temple, Totsunji, which served as the Nombu clan temple.
Alright, we got a nice view of the sunrise there. What mark is that? We are 21 minutes into the video. I think that might have to be... Can we zoom in? Maybe that. How perfect is that for the thumbnail? Alright, I like it. So 21 and a half minutes into the video, that is our thumbnail. Alright, so we got BushTalk radio all squared away here. Let's go ahead and check. One, let's move our mic closer. Yeah, so BushTalk radio all said and done. We can turn that off. I figure the more stuff I have off, the better the frame rate is going to be. But we're going to check on our flight plan here. Let's see how we're doing. So we are 22 nautical miles out from the top of our descent, which is 11.9 miles away from the runway. We're going to contact ATC.
Tokyo Center says the Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha is type Cessna Skyhawk 3 2 miles south of Hachinami 3,000 feet. Request flight following.
We're going to let our presence be known.
Squawk 6541 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha radar contact tree 1 mile south of Hachinami 3,000 feet. Altimeter tree 0 decimal tree 6. Roger Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, we set our altimeter to match 30.36. And we are good to go until they contact us, which they may pretty soon, because we were pretty late to the party to join ATC. Let's go ahead and turn on our lights, that might help too. Alright, 7 minutes away from top of descent, and then the runway sits at 124 feet above sea level, even though it's like right on the water. Moving down here, our next high point, the ground takes a little bit of a dip and then rises back up. The rise up is 1,300 feet, so we are going to reduce our feet here, or our altitude. Oh, do we have a golf course? Or is that just... That's not a golf course. No golf course. Alright. Got my hopes up for nothing there. What were we doing? We're going to reduce down to about 2,300 feet. just do a nice slow descent. Probably reduce that a little bit. Just to get that sped up. Just a little. We're at about a 5 degree decline. Well within comfort zone. Alright. And then, now that we are leveling off, our speed is going to drop. I'm going to increase that back up to about 90%. All right, 24 nautical miles away from the airport. We're in that dip zone. Go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff out of here. Looks like the window is all scratched up. We got some mileage on this plane. Alright, the sun has fully broken the horizon there. Try to get that glare off of the wing. There you go. Alright. Enough playing around with the camera there. We're on to, my original plan was to take a look at this whole area here. Get a good view of that. See if we can spot a golf course. So far, 0 golf course. Oh, what is this? On the hill. That almost looks like a baseball field. Without the pitcher mound. Alright, don't. It's pretty neat. The river runs through there. You can kind of see it cutting through the mountain or the hillside. Got this little brightened spotlight. Let's see if I can get it in zoom. There you go, a little clearing on the side of the mountain. Alright, so we are getting there, top of our descent, 3.9 nautical miles away. It'd be approximately 1 minute. But we already started our descent already. Alright, our airport is going to be just off to the right tip of our nose there. We take a look at this. Our plane is here. This is the approach for runway number 7. Let's see how long this recording is. Alright, we're in the almost 32nd minute mark. Our flight plan has another 8 minutes to go. And then our taxi. I think we'll just stick with the original flight plan. We'll land on runway number 7. We'll get a view of the ocean. What ocean is that, by the way? Is that still considered the Pacific? That's the North Pacific Ocean. So Hawaii's going to be out there to the right. And we got the Philippine Sea below us. Super interesting. All right. All right, we officially passed the top of our descent, so we are going to bring this elevation down to about, we'll say, 1,000 feet. We'll go on the heavier side. We'll do 1,100. Everything's good to go there. We're going to reduce our throttle. Alright, I don't think we need to like almost completely shut it off, but got a little heavy on the brake there. I mean, you theoretically can. Just saying. 0% throttle. We were basically coasting down to 1,100 feet. The only thing that's going to happen as we approach 1,400 feet, 1,200 feet, we're going to scare the passengers, and then we'll increase the throttle right at the end. Cessna 172, very responsive on the actions that you do, so it's not too bad. So we had a little scared the passengers a little bit. Just basically cut the engine off, coast down to the target elevation, and then increase the throttle. A little bit of pilot fun. All right, 7 miles. Then we're gonna make a right-hand turn somewhere up here. I think the runway, we haven't spotted the runway yet. We're pretty low to the ground, so it might be hard to do. I should have done that before, but we'll see it when we make the turn. Alright, we'll get one more exterior view here as we are 30 seconds away from turning. Sun fully up there on the east. Zero golf course views. And here we go. Making our turn. About 18-degree turn. And there's our runway. Alright, so the only thing that's left to do now, besides grab a pair of sunglasses, we're 4 miles out. Alright, 1,900. We're dropping down to 6.5. And we're going to reduce the throttle. Going to add some flaps. Increase the throttle, take this off of autopilot, adjust our view, and we'll take this thing in for a landing, shall we? The only thing we didn't check is to see how long the runway is. Probably would have been a good thing to know. But a little too late now. I already got both hands on the wheel. We got no wind to speak of. We're reducing the throttle. Coming in hot. Adjust our view a little bit. Skimming the trees. Over the buildings. We are coming in super fast. We're above the white arc. But it looks like the runway is long. Looks like all the parking is a little bit further down on our right. We basically are gliding at this point. There we go. That was a pretty decent landing. Alright, our throttle is pretty much fully out. We're gonna find... I'm surprised we weren't contacted by ATC. Guess they didn't want to know where we were. It's all fine. I didn't want to talk to you anyway. Alright. Alright, we're going to pull off here. Ooh, big glare on that. Cutting the corner tight. Alright, if they don't want to talk to us, we're not going to contact ground for parking. We're just going to... We don't need a valet. We're going to find our own parking here. And you know what? We're just going to cut through the grass. Hello, gentlemen. Don't mind me. I'm just going to park right next to you. Alright, we're just going to park it right about there. Alright, parking brake is set. We're going to go ahead and turn that off. And that will conclude leg number 7 in our 10-leg journey here with our little tour with BushTalk on at least a few of them. So yeah, so tune in for the next one. Check out NeoFly if you haven't. That's our other career mode. This is just sort of our sightseeing route type of video. So we're gonna get this thing all edited up, kind of queued up, and try to get ahead for the week. So appreciate it once again, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and we'll see you next time.